Hi, this is Charlie, and this is me talking about the Ruth Lauren Bowman article about untidy corners of performance studies. Now, the major theme of this article, in my opinion, is that performance studies is super weird. Now, why do I say that the major theme of the article is that performance studies is super weird? For two reasons. Now, first, she compares performance studies to a bunch of weird things. She says that it is freakish, like Icarus, or the Blob, or the Incredible Shrinking Man. She cites Paul Gray, who says that it's a ragbag collection of scraps of acting theory and elocution and new criticism. And she also says it's like a carnival, a creepy, overwhelming carnival. Ooh, so that's weird. Number two. Second, she also says that it is considered a maligned part of academia, saying that people who study performance, she says this on page 306, she says people who study performance have lived in the intellectual, philosophical, and moral ghetto of Western culture for centuries. And she also calls it like the untidy corners of academia. And she talks about Bob, who's that sort of maybe fictional guy who works with her, who's like, oh, you just move the dust around, because Bob wants to make sense of performance studies, and he kind of thinks that it's like kind of silly, like it just moves the dust around, which makes Ruth feel bad. So in review, she compares it to weird things, and it's also this maligned part of the discipline. So in conclusion, performance studies is weird. However, she also says that it's not weird, and in fact that it's really simple. She says on 305, I study performance. I study performance because performance in all its various forms and functions interests me. So in this way, it's not very weird. It's very simple. Like the woman says, what is performance studies? And she says, which of those two words don't you understand? Now, I have a couple questions about this essay. Number one, I'm interested in how performance studies might have changed since it was written in 1992, because surely some of it has changed, and things might be different now. Number two, I also have this question about how performance studies is different than theater studies, and whether theater studies is also in that like ghetto of Western academic culture and whatnot. So those are two questions I want to talk about when we actually talk about this in class. But meanwhile, I have to say that I thought it was really interesting. It was a cool article, and I'm excited to talk about it. So thanks for watching.